Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Switch 2. The specs have now finally come out, and some people are actually a little bit on the negative side of how strong the console actually is. Now, as you guys probably know, it is going to be a slightly weaker console than, say, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, or PC, but also we kind of want to look at, like, say, the Steam Deck, Lenovo Go, and other various handheld devices, because it is, well, a handheld device, and that would be pretty fair to go put them into a comparison. And right now, apparently people are not happy with it. People are kind of a little bit assuming it's on the lesser end, and well, people are just kind of concerned that the console itself might not be as strong. So we're going to talk about the good and the bad, the negative and the positive, and we're going to go and see like what you guys kind of think in the comment section down below. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We also do have our Switch 2 giveaway down below. Check out the second YouTube account. We're probably live up on Twitch. You guys want to say hi. We're checking out the new Doom game, and of course the Twitter as well down below. Let's dive on into the fact that, well, the Switch 2 has finally been officially leaked. Let's go talk about it. So right now, the Nintendo Switch 2 final tech specs and system reservations are now confirmed. The hardware inside the new console and some of the limitations developers need to work with are now coming on out, and it is apparently not as good as some people are expecting, but as well also better than some people are expecting in various aspects. I kind of think how like the PS5 was slightly worse than the Xbox Series S or X, but the SSD was a little bit stronger and there was better optimization. That's probably what we're going to be expecting with the Switch 2. Slightly just newer internal technology than comparison to the PS4, and I believe also the memory is a big improvement, which is very important for games as of right this second. And of course as well, it is also a mobile device. I think most people would agree the added mobility of something being a mobile device is very important. I think, in my opinion, like it kind of adds a lot more, I guess, fluidity of my standards. And yeah, so anyway, Nintendo has released its own technical specifications for the Switch 2's console hybrid, but it's fair to say that the details somewhat selective, and that's okay. It's been a long time since the firm ducked out of the technological arms race against Sony and Microsoft, but at the same time, it looks like the void needs to be filled in various information, like you just want to know what's going on. So they've had a chance to go and cover out various news as well, and like we had a few articles on this. But saying a lot of the details we have found focus on the vaguest elements of the official specifications. The custom processor made by NVIDIA, which I do also want to add, is going to be more optimized. Somehow AMD has worked closely with PlayStation to make it a slightly better, more optimized console with probably better internals and like software and drivers, you know, and all that type of stuff. But that does actually matter. It's kind of like you go have a computer and then you have a computer that's filled with bloatware. Like if you have a computer that's really streamlined, brand new, it's going to probably run slightly better. Maybe a brand new phone with less like thousands of pictures and videos. It's not like the same, but I think you guys get the vibe of what we're trying to say. Maybe a brand new car is going to be running a lot better than a car with 50,000 miles on it. I'm trying to get a metaphor. I hope you guys understand. Because when the original Switch first launched, Nintendo described it as a custom NVIDIA Tegra processor, when in reality it was effectively a vanilla Tegra X1. However, though the Switch 2's SoC described in shipping manifest and NVIDIA leaks as the T239 is very much a custom silicone design specifically for Nintendo, and a lot of confirmed details tally with the existing leaks too as well. So here's the overall, I believe, list of what we're expecting on the Switch 2 itself, and like I said, it's comparable to still the PS4. So basically we have the Switch 2 with this brand new NVIDIA card. One big thing to go also note as well, this NVIDIA card will have DLSS, and that is also like an upscaling AI technology. Obviously, AI integration, machine learning has gotten a lot better in the last like 8 years or so. And obviously, NVIDIA is the company of all companies to go and well work with AI and be able to go make it work out well. Like, duh, it's NVIDIA. It's one of the biggest companies on the entire planet. And right now, the big figurehead on GPUs, but as well, even on AI. So right now, it has just a way better CPU in comparison to the Switch 1. CPU clocks are technically a little bit on the lower end, but obviously it's a way better CPU, so who cares? CPU, it does have more cores available too as well, which is nice. Different type of GPU architecture, more CUDA cores. The GPU clocks are slightly higher too as well, especially when it's also docked to on top of that. The memory is a big deal. As we mentioned, this is a DDR5 memory, which is a big improvement, and as well as also a 128-bit memory too as well, and also the bandwidth too on top of this. This is like how big a game can be, how big like a world can be, kind of think like video RAM a little bit in combination with the GPU from my understanding. So basically a bigger game can run nicer. A game like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild can be kind of loaded in a little bit more as well, like big picture, like they can have more stuff going on, a little bit more shadows, details, better graphics, more world stuff, waterfalls, whatever it might be. Like it's important, it's there, especially compared to the Switch as well. And also the memory reservation is also bigger. So on top of that, so big things to kind of note, but of course as well, people are also now kind of calling it out and complaining. So that right now the Switch 2 is now confirmed to be weaker than the PS4 and the Steam Deck in life real performance based on all these leaks and these various things out here. So Nintendo Switch 2 specifications overview, as we mentioned, we kind of just went through it all. Basically just the specs are slightly worse as well. Some people are even saying there's not going to be a GTA 6 on there. Basically saying the Switch 2 has a higher memory bandwidth, which has been proven to be really important for new titles. I would agree on this. It also has a new architecture, which will allow for more of the way of performance versus on-paper specifications too as well. So I believe this is all just a comparison to for the PS4, which, you know, here you look at the RAM, you look at the APU, you look at the SD card, etc. Can kind of see through all these all here too as well. So basically the PS4 they're kind of just going through this RAM stuff, but basically they're just saying that the PS4 was well made, well optimized, and well, it's cool. But the bigger deal is the Steam Deck is actually pretty widely available, somewhat like integrated with Steam and its own platform. Well, duh, it's like the whole point of it. Yeah, it kind of throws a little bit of, I guess, a coin in my waterfall. Is that even a saying? But like, it kind of makes me second guess the Switch a little bit too. Now, I still think I'm going to get it, and don't forget, there's a few good optimizations where basically Nintendo games are very well optimized. They look very nice. They're probably good. Like, they're working with the company. They like a PlayStation game. It'll be very well optimized for a PlayStation Studios game because they know the hardware, they know the people who made it. You can unironically hit up Jeff over here who's been making the Switch for 7 years and ask like, hey, like, what's the limits? What can we do to make this special? How do we make our next Zelda game even better? Next Mario game even better? So, I mean, that's also a big deal. Plus, also a lot of AI integration with the machine learning will also be a big improvement from the PS4. There is machine learning in some of these consoles regardless, but I'm sure you guys can understand the PS4 was many years ago, very similar to the Switch itself. So obviously it's going to be, well, in terms of the AI improvement, since then it's going to be way, way bigger as well. So as the same for the original Switch, Tegra X1 featured ARM Cortex cores. I don't really know what this means. Internally, I'll be honest with you, I'm just acting like I do. 4 of them with 1 reserved for the OS features, leaving 3 free for developers. There's a similar ratio for Switch 2 with 6 cores available for developers and 2 reserved for by Nintendo. For running the operating system, CPU clocks are confirmed, but still a little bit of a mystery in mobile mode. And the CPU runs at 100 Hz, basically saying they have a chance to drop on down depending on the performance mode or what's going on with it too as well. And if it's running on dot or it's in your hand, etc., etc. So no one really knows why these mobile mode CPU clocks are higher than performance mode, but the memory bandwidth drops in mobile mode, which is likely have an impact in the CPU performance. Basically kind of saying like if this memory is being utilized everywhere else, we'll have a chance using the CPU. Interestingly, Nintendo does specify that the maximum clock, though, is 1.7, a lot higher than the other specified figures, basically saying like these are not bad figures. Like these are all around pretty good too as well. So the Switch 2 uses the Ampere architecture, which is on the RTX 3000 series. I have a 3080 Ti myself. So it is actually a pretty nice, like more smaller version of the GPU too. Like this is actually a pretty good console. Although they are saying developers don't get the full GPU resources though, because the console itself may be using some of it too as well. So the big thing too on top of that is the DLSS, which is the AI integration, has been confirmed by Nintendo and Nvidia and has Ampere ray tracing features, so ray tracing is going to be in the console. Switch 2 is rated for 10 gigaраys per second, doubling up to 20 gigaways run dot. Of course, RT is taxing on a resource constrained system, so it's no surprise that we've not actually seen any RT effects in any game showcase to date, but I expect to see it happen at some point, especially with the Switch 2 running on its performance mode too as well. The biggest thing though, as we talked about, is the memory. Staying on to the memory, the leaks are once again confirmed. The Switch 2 uses 12 gigabytes of the DDR5 basically RAM via 2 6GB modules. The memory bandwidth is confirmed as 102 gigabytes in performance mode, up to 68 when running in handheld mode. There's nothing new there, but we can confirm that with the 12 gigabytes of memory, 3 gigabytes of that is reserved by the system itself, leaving 9 gigabytes available for developers. Compared against the Switch 1, the older console shipped, which was 4 gigabytes of memory in total, with 3.2 gigabytes available for developers. So Nintendo is certainly reserving a bigger chunk for RAM for non-gaming functions. So think like streaming, think the game store, think notifications, messages, or whatever it might go and be. But yeah, there's just a lot of information for this 2 as well. So there's also an FD or file decompression engine. So Switch 2 features more also upgraded storage as well, with 256 gigabytes of UFS storage, which can also augment their micro SD cards for up to 2 terabytes in size too as well. So faster storage equals faster loading times, and M2 too as well, just kind of put a little bit more on the memory versus say the CPU or GPU overall. And obviously still they have the slightly worse display, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but might have slightly bigger resolutions too on top of that. And as I also mentioned too, they do have the AI integrations too as well, which allows for better upscaling. So people are still concerned that it's not as good in comparison to this PS4 or the Steam Deck. I think it will have its own optimizations for Nintendo games. I think it is an improvement. I do think we can probably see Nintendo work in their magic, and I do want to say NVIDIA has impressed people quite a bit with their AI and their integrations on that, so we shouldn't probably count that out as of yet. Give me your thoughts and comments and everything down below. Make sure you guys go and check out the Switch 2 giveaway, link down below in the Twitter and description. Follow and hang out on the Twitch too as well. I just appreciate you all so much for watching here in the first place.